let's take a look at our rules of exponents. So let's go through the rules real quickly. So here's some old rules. So if I have two variables with different powers and they're being multiplied, all I need to do is add the exponents. If I have a power raised to another power, then I'm going to multiply the exponents. If I'm dividing two variables, they have to be the same variable, then we have x, or the same base, x. We're just going to subtract the powers. Remember, if a exponent is raised to a negative, or if a value is raised to a negative exponent, then it's just going to be written as 1 over that. Notice if it's a negative exponent, it becomes positive once you move it. And likewise, if it's negative in the denominator, you can rewrite it as positive in the numerator. All right, so those are kind of the basic rules for exponents. So let's take a look at a couple of examples. So let's say we have something like this. So it has a whole lot of mess in it. It has some division, it has some negative exponents, it has some power. We're going to look at the powers here. All right, so the first thing that I like to take care of is this negative exponent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and flip this, because that's what that negative, if it was -3, then I'd need to flip it and then raise everything to the third power. But since it's -1, right, it's some power raised to the -1, I'm just going to flip it. So this becomes 6xy to the 4th over 3x cubed y to the -2. Nothing changes in here. All I do is flip it. The second thing I'm going to do is deal with the negative exponents. All right, so if it's negative, I'm going to move it. Since these are all the same, I'm going to keep all those where they belong. These are all positive, I'm going to keep those where they belong. This is negative, so what that gets is that gets flipped up. So this becomes y, and again, we change the sign when we flip it up. All right, and then finally, the third thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clean up. I'm going to do any division, any combining that I can. 6 divided by 3 is just 2. Now I have a first power there, a third power there. So this you can kind of think about it as canceling. So I'm going to be left with x squared in the denominator, or you could think about it 1 minus 3 is -2. But remember, -2 is going to go downstairs in the denominator. Right, and then my y's, I'm going to add these two together. So 4 plus 2 is just 6. And that's it. This is the cleaned up version of that.